YouTube, what's up? Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make this a quick intro video about me and what I have in mind for this channel, and then we will jump straight into our first live play and explain. So I'll give you a little background on me. My name's Sam. I'm 25. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, originally from Boston. I'm a big competitive golfer, which you can probably tell by the channel name and the pictures behind me. But poker and golf are really my two big hobbies. Right now, I'm injured and it's the golf off season, so putting a lot of my time into poker right now, and I've been filming a bunch of my sessions just for review and study purposes. So I figured if I'm already going through that effort, I might as well be posting them. So here we are. But a little on my poker story. I've been playing for just about 2 years now. Transitioning from 1-3 to 2-5 in live poker, which is going well so far, but I am just a recreational player with a full-time job. So, the poker bankroll isn't exactly what it should be, and the variance tends to, catch up to me sometimes. But for online poker, I'm playing 25 NL. I mostly play Zoom on Ignition. Obviously, I'm not expecting to make any significant money playing 25 NL, but I use it pretty much just to study and improve my poker game in between live sessions. In North Carolina, we really have no opportunity to play live poker right now. But thankfully, I get to travel a lot throughout the year, and I do get to play, somewhere around like 250 live hours a year. So, trying to use online poker as a way to improve my poker game when I'm not able to play live. So, for the most part, my plan is to film online play and explains and session reviews where I'm plugging back in spots into either a solver or just talking through the spots myself. I don't have any plans right now to do live poker vlogs or anything like that. Most of the properties I play at don't let you film anyway. But I don't really have a good idea of where this channel is going to end up. So God knows what the plan is going to be somewhere down the road. But for now, we're just going to stick to some online videos, and we can probably just jump right in here. So for the most part, I'm going to be attempting to play GTO in these games. I'm a 1-3-2-5 player, and I'm a human being, so it's not like I'm going to be a solver god or anything. But because I'm using these sessions mostly to prep for, live poker, just keep the rust off and learn. I'm mostly going to be trying to play GTO poker. There'll certainly be some spots where exploits make some sense against the player pool in 25 NL, but I'll mention those when they come up. I'm also going to be playing 3-better fold from almost every single position, certainly from the small blind. I'll mix in some flats from the big blind, obviously, and the button as well, but the button flats will be few and far between. On the left here, 5x. I'm going to fold with the guy behind me. I think I'm just dominated by a lot of the stuff that the small blind has there, or the guy squeezing there. So I don't really want to play in between two people there with ace queen off. I think 4-betting is also reasonable, but again, I am no solver god or anything. So there are going to be people watching these that are better than me at poker. So certainly don't take everything I do or say as perfectly correct or anything, but hopefully over the course of these videos, we'll be able to notice some significant improvement. And at this point, that's really all I'm after. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, I guess, but hopefully the review type videos where we plug in some spots into a solver and talk through strategy, hopefully those will be relevant to everybody. Now open it up here with the ace-4 suited. Going to be betting this flop small a lot of the time. Certainly when I have the backdoor flush draw. When I pick up no equity on the turn here, I'm going to check back. I think ace high is going to be good against the big blind once in a while, and I'm going to have hands that are a lot worse than this. And this guy has left the pot, I think. One big blind, thank you. Nice. On the right, not a great turn. again, I have like 0 equity, so not really super interested in blasting off here. I'm gonna lose to like pocket fours or something sometimes, but I'm fine with that. Okay. Not what I expected him to have, but this is an absolutely gigantic open. I'm never going to flat against 4 big blind open, so we're just going to fold here. It's a little tight to fold ace-6 suited on the button there, but I expect to face a lot of aggression from that guy after he opened so gigantic. And if I'm going to 3-bet, I'm going to have to make it pretty big, which means the SPR is going to be pretty low post-flop, so I think just letting it go is fine. I guess another thing to mention is probably the weakest part of my game is blind versus blind play, mostly because when I'm playing live poker, people are chopping blinds when it folds to small blind. So I don't spend a whole lot of time studying blind versus blind spots. Certainly, one of the things that I want to improve through this, and something I'll study for sure. But as of right now, almost all of my study time is spent elsewhere. So I might make some mistakes blind versus blind. I'm going to make this first one somewhat short, but I'm thinking most of these will probably be around like 30 to 50 minutes maybe for the live play and explains. And then for the session review type videos, I'll probably just jump around to interesting spots from previous sessions and then just go over those in whatever detail the spot requires. I have a backdoor flush draw and 2 overs. I guess I'll continue here on the left. I wonder if we can lead on an ace. I think we probably can. I have pretty much like no 3x here. So yeah, this is going to happen sometimes, but I expect the guy to raise once in a while when he has a beat. So this is just pretty easy fold here. I don't lead very often, but I think in that situation where we're under the gun and the guy like baby bets the flop, he's going to have a lot of hands that are just kind of like garbage 1-pair hands that don't like the ace. And, obviously that lets us lead on the ace when we actually have a strong value hand. So, but as I said, the problem there is we really have no threes. So it's not like we ever have a straight. I guess that guy can have some threes. Most of them are going to be ace 3 and pocket threes. So, and on the right here in a single raise pot, when I'm between 2 people, I'm going to check a ton. Certainly not going to fold the flop here. It's going to be a little sketchy if it goes bet call, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue against this. I think we want to bet small on the left. It's a little thin to value bet on the right, especially without a spade when the flush completes. So check and evaluate. Okay, nice. So I think I want to bet on the left. Block the nuts, still have an out to the nuts. Problem is by the river in a blind versus blind single raise pot, we're going to have hands a lot worse than king high. So We're probably over bluffing if I always follow through here, and it's not a very scary run out. Obviously, the guy's never folding a 9. He should never fold a queen, so I'm just going to give this one up. I mean, terribly played hand by him, but I think the give up's fine. I should be calling pocket jacks a lot there if he decides to take that line with it, so I think it's fine. Against these positions, I'm going to be folding the ace-4. I also currently don't have plans to stream any of the sessions live, but again, maybe that'll change. Going to be 3-betting on the right, and because the guy made it so gigantic, we also have to. I'm going to go, this is a huge win when the guy just straight opens to 5 big blinds and then folds. That's awesome. I'm going to be 3-betting out of position from the small blind to about 4x, and the big blind is going to be about 5x, assuming it's heads up, and then in position 3-bets are going to be 3x almost always, and then adding in any calls to those. So like, let's say I'm on the button and it goes like raise call. I'm going to make it about 4x from here, would be 5x from the small blind, even a little bit bigger from the big blind. The nice thing about 3-betting from the big blind is, yeah, you do have a little bit of better pot odds just because your big blind's in there, but that's not really the big factor. It's that you are closing the action, assuming that it's heads up. So, 3-betting from the small blind or the button or anything, you still have people behind you left to act that can fold cold 4-bet or whatever. So when you're in the big blind, it is really nice to be closing the action and have it heads up already. We are going to be opening up with the 2 kings here. And then for opening size, from the low jack and hijack, I'm going to be opening to 2 big blinds, and then a little bit more from the cutoff and the button. Again, because I'm closer to closing the action and I'm more likely to play these pots in position. So we get a min 3-bet here. Normally I would 4-bet to like 2.5x. I'm going to go a little bit bigger than that, just because the guy made it so small. And then I'm going to start with half pot here. This is about the biggest I'm ever going to go in a 4-bet pot on the flop. I want this guy to be in a bad spot with like, okay, he should never have a set or anything here. Obviously I'm calling, but to finish my thought, this guy should have worse overpairs a ton. So this is designed to put him in a really bad spot with like pocket 10s. It's a lot of equity. No interest in betting into this many people on the right. Because I have nothing in my stack. We're all in. The ace is really good for me. I think we can get people to fold things like pocket 6s or whatever, maybe. I expect one of these people to have an ace, but it is nice to build a pot. In the event that we get there, I won't be bluffing the river because I expect this guy to have an ace, as I said. Yep. Four-way limp pot on the right here. Not going to be getting too out of line with 7 deuce here. People never really bluff in these spots, so like this dude just has a king like every time. Or he has like pair plus open ender type thing. I also need to decide whether I'm gonna play music in the background of these, so that's one thing that I'll probably mess around with quite a bit in the first couple of these before I figure out, you know, what works best. There is quite a bit of downtime between hands, even playing 2 tables of zone, so you know, it can get a little quiet, I guess. On the right here, the 3 wheel boards, I'm going to be inclined to check back a lot, but because we have a backdoor flush draw as well, I'm just going to bet small. On the left, I'm also going to bet small. King. Shouldn't have a whole lot of king X, but I should, and I think our hand can go 3 streets. I think the guy has a worse ace a lot. That's a horrible river. This is pretty tight, but I'm just going to check back. Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know if he calls the river, but I'm certainly value betting on cleaner rivers there. Especially when he calls the bigger bet on the turn. This is kind of gross here. Actually, it's not nearly as gross as I thought. It's a pretty easy fold. And if that was against another position too, I would have felt a lot better about value betting the river. Because it's the big blind, I mean, he's certainly got a hell of a lot more straights than I do there. He also has some weird 2-pair type stuff that I don't expect to fold. It's fine to value on yourself too. Like, if you're not value owning yourself once in a while, then you're probably not betting thin enough on the river. So that's definitely one of the major errors that low stakes players make, is just not value betting nearly enough. On the left, I'm going to be checking a ton out of position in single raise pots. This is no different. I would definitely entertain a check raise here. Because this is not a great card for me, I'm either going to check or bet pretty big. I think we probably just want to check call. Okay. Could also definitely value bet the river, but I think the guy has a missed draw quite a bit there. Against half pot, we're just going to raise right away. Kind of unfortunate that there's no draws here. Like, I wish that there was a flush draw out here or something like that. But the guy's like pocket queens, just want to get his stack in there. Am I going to be properly balancing that with bluffs? Probably not. But I don't really think in 25 NL, you need to be super balanced. As I said, my goal for these sessions is going to be to play well. So even though it might not be the most profitable strategy in these games, I'm going to try to play correctly. So here, that's a huge raise, but we have a boat again. Other than the pocket king's hand, we're running pretty good in this short little session here. So I also expect this dude to be pretty aggressive here. Raising here would be a mistake, I think. On the right, this board's horrible for us. So we're going to call. I expect him to raise like quite a few draws on the flop. So I don't want him to fold those. I almost just misclicked call. That would have been not great. Thank you. Be flatting the eights. Let's see. What'd you have, my friend? Oh my god, we flop a set now. He had, oh, he had trips. Oh no, wait, that was mine. He had, oh my god, wow, he had a worse boat. Unlucky, my friend. Do we want to raise now or later? Let's raise now. I'm gonna make it kind of small, and I'm going to half pot the left. Gross. I'm gonna block. That's nice. So the block there, actually don't love it when it's a mono flop like that. I would like block if it was, let's say, like two clubs and then the turn was a club, so the flush completes on the turn. It is certainly a weird spot to play with a set where we check raise the mono board and then get a fourth club and we don't have one, but our hand's, you know, like too strong to turn into a bluff, but I don't expect that guy to raise the turn in position very often, especially when I check raise the flop, so I think it's fine. When the fourth club is out there, we kind of just have like a full house draw at that point. But I think we might be able to squeak some additional value out of like two pair hands. But we get put in a weird spot on the river for sure. This board is not great for either of us. So kind of similar to that hand where I had kings and I just want to put like his mediocre overpairs in a weird spot. I'm going to bet a little bit bigger. And then I don't like the size I just took. Yeah, damn it. Because of this. I can't fold, unfortunately. But this dude just has like pocket tens a lot. Maybe pocket eights. Yeah, he has eights. That was a poorly played hand. I didn't check the stack sizes before I bet the turn. So that was a big mistake. Such as poker. But I'm getting such a ridiculous price. I'm drawing to the nuts. So again, in the middle here, I'm going to check a ton. Bet small on the right. Pretty good card for my range, but not for my hand on the left. I'm going to keep checking here. Now I have a value bet. Nobody has an ace. I don't know if we can go bigger than half. And again, once in a while, we're going to value on ourselves here, but this happens sometimes too. Should have an 8. Yeah, hit 6-8. In the small blind there, especially facing an open from under the gun, those offsuit aces are pretty trash. Again, I'm going to be playing 3-better folds from the small blind, so pretty much not going to be messing around with any offsuit aces worse than like ace-jack. This is a big 3-bet, particularly alarming when it comes facing the low jack open, but our hand plays pretty well. I say as I flop a very mediocre hand that probably has to continue to a lot of sizes here. I think because we have a gutter, we definitely can't fold yet, but this guy's line is pretty strong. I don't think we can value bet our hand on the right either. This is close, but I'm going to cold 4-bet here. This is disgusting. I don't really expect the guy to check back a king on the turn. I block ace queen. I don't think he's doing this with like pocket tens, but yeah, okay. Kind of a weird check back. This board in a cold 4-bet pot is pretty much like irrelevant. Nobody should be touching this board. But when somebody 3-bets the under the gun open, obviously that's should be a pretty strong hand. So pocket jacks is probably the bottom. Pocket tens are probably just folding there. Yeah, that queen jack hand is unfortunate. It's a weird check back on the turn for him. Obviously, you got him paid. I mean, but maybe we can find a fold on the river. Again, I want him to have like exactly ace queen, and I have a queen in my hand, so doesn't feel great. He's not going to value bet worse than like ace king, I don't think. So he has a set a lot, which is, he could have kings there for sure. I'm going to ISO both these limps here, and I'm going to do it pretty big. Nobody ever really limp folds, so. And then here, I don't expect a bet to get through very often, and I expect this dude to jam a ton. So I'm actually going to check back the open ender here. Bet small on the right. Call with the open ender. So on the flop here, I don't think it's a mistake necessarily to bet the flop, but because of this guy's stack size, he's going to end up raising a bunch, and then we lose all of our like bluff equity when it gets heads up. because the guy's all in. So not that I'm ever really gonna start bluffing into 3 people, um, but if I do bet the flop and I end up heads up against someone else and I get to the river and I have 8 high, I can definitely bluff some runouts, but I don't really like it with that short stack in there. And again, I just don't like bluffing into multiple people. So I'm going to sit out our next big blind here. Okay, so we face a 3-bet here. I think with ace king off specifically, we can just rip it in. You could definitely flat in position here, but I have an ace and a king. I'm all in. Especially when the size is that big. We ISO'd pretty large against the limp, and then he has to 3-bet pretty big against that. So because sometimes we get to just take that down, no contest, you can just rip it in. This is close. This might be a little loose here. Start with small bet. I'm going to continue on a spade and then bluff spade rivers. I can also bluff on like a 7. Maybe even a 10. There are definitely, let's see, yeah. If we get like a, 7-10 spade or an ace, I think I'm in there. 5, not going to do it. It's a really not scary run out for a queen, so I'm just not going to try to get him off top pair. There aren't really any like misdraws here either, so the 8 is like a terrible card. I guess I do block like 8. Okay, well, he had like one of the only hands that we probably could have got him off. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'm looking forward to see where this channel goes. Obviously, that wasn't the best session to start on, but I'm sure we'll have some good ones soon. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.